And of course, he promptly went back to the White House and watched them go to this building and tear it apart. There's another thing I want to point out is this has never happened before in the history of the United States since 1814.
Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. People, we talked about it yesterday, but Chris was not here.
Corey, I watched this today and I was shocked. I was shocked that people were shocked that this happened. I was like the whole time I've been nonplussed. I was like, yeah, everything that I was reading about, I was like, yeah, I pretty much expected this. Matter of fact, I don't understand why whoever was on security detail was taken off guard. They've been talking about this. It's all that's been talked about this whole time. But I guess, I selectively believing what you want to believe. I mean, we've watched these same people storm other government buildings, try to kidnap and torture and murder a governor before. Why would you not put this past them to do stuff like this? You should have been prepared for the worst. After the day, I don't want to hear anybody else with well, we got to try to understand the other side. I want to see Van Johnson crying on the air and we gotta make amends. Like, clearly that's not a thing that's going to happen. That ship has sailed. They are not interested.
So if you don't want to hear any more about these riots that happened at the Capitol, I don't blame you. It's very depressing to witness what's going on right now. Really, just more than anything, man, I'm just even more than angry. I'm just tired, man. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But I really, and this has even been before Trump, to be honest with you. But he really just, he exasperated me more than anything in the last 4 years, man. And I'm tired of being sick and tired, man. But, again, I went off yesterday.
Sure.
Go ahead and say your piece.
I'll be succinct. And, at the end of the day, I was, seeing this happen. And people's reactions saying how they were so shocked that it finally came to this. It was like, I'm not shocked at all that it finally came to this. Based on, for people might not know who follow politics, you're an international listener or viewer. Trump has been banging the drum, saying that the election was stolen from him and his supporters, and that there was fraud across fraud on a level that we've never seen. Tens of thousands of votes, hundreds of thousands of votes were illegally cast, or his votes were eliminated and driven away, or just ripped up. And to see that, when you drum this up, and you've been talking about it for 6 weeks now since the election, you think that. Oh, that's just nothing bad's going to happen. It was inevitable how he instigates, because that's part of his brand. He wants people to stay mad so they still support him, and that's what he sold when he first started running for office, even long before that, when he started to get politically involved. This was always going to be what was going to happen. Even hours before these people finally overran the Capitol building, he's like, I'm going to be there with you. We're going to go to the Capitol, and we're going to tell them what you're not going to be able to steal this election again. Yeah. And of course, he promptly went back to the White House and watched them go to this building and tear it apart. There's another thing I want to point out is this has never happened before in the history of the United States since 1814, and the gall of some people and the Republican politicians to say no one could have predicted this. It's like you ate from his goddamn hand for years, and now as you're finally criticizing him, or you're leaving your positions, or resigning, or you followed him until the end. It's like you're just doing this to save face and to save your own skins. And so honestly, shame on you. History is going to, this is going to be Trump's. I mean, Trump has done so many things, but this will be the last I think, honestly, sentence in his presidency where we'll remember it. And it's going to define him. Just a chaotic presidency filled with lies and racism and hatred, and it ended in chaos, like so many other things that he's ever made or created throughout his entire life.
Yeah.
This will be the last sentence in it.
I've been telling you this ever since he was running. I said, this man, but even more when it got ramped up, like in his 2 years in, I said, you know, these dog whistles and this rhetoric that he's putting out here, I said, it's dangerous. I've said so many times, it's dangerous. I've had to talk to people who thought about voting for him again. I said, how the f can you do that? Can you not see what is happening before you? And all these people who were like, oh my God, what has this country become? You idiots. I and millions of others told you that the more he gets these people riled up and the more he dog whistles and sneaks in all these racist things and all this fear, of course the shit was gonna blow up like this.
Oh, the police are now running back into the Capitol building. We have cheers from the protesters that are watching behind the scenes.
Did you see that these people rushed cops? Armed man rushed cops. And as I said yesterday, there was no tear gas, there were no rubber bullets, there was no National Guard or any kind of military presence there.
Have you seen the photo of the National Guard and the SWAT and all the various police forces during the Black Lives Matter protest? Like the stark contrast where they were actually like on the Lincoln Memorial. Like that picture exists there. It's like, where were those guys that day? Where were those guys that day? Why did we get the Paul Blart force out where they were just so unprepared for what was about to happen?
And this is something why I wanted to come in and elaborate on what I said yesterday, because yesterday I was angry and I'm still angry, but today I'm tired, man. I told you over and over again that these selfish assholes, these pricks, they would rather burn the fucking house down instead of sharing it with other people that they don't like. I am so sick and fucking tired of black people and other oppressed minorities and groups. But in my case, I see this. I'm so sick and tired of black people being the ones to save democracy over and over again. I'm not full of myself. I'm not saying this. I'm not playing teams. This is not this is not something where we're trying to, I'm trying to score over you. No, that's not it. Black people have had to fight for democracy for their fucking lives. Our lives depend on that.
Right.
If we don't have democracy, guess who's the one that's going to get shit on? Us. We're the lowest ones on the totem pole, man, when it comes to this kind of thing. And we have to fight for that shit. But I'm so tired that every time we do, we continue to get blamed for all the problems in this country. And furthermore, we get punished for it. We get punished for it, man.
Whether it be in the legislation or how you're showcased in the media.
People, again,
politics.
We get punished for it, man. People who are traitors, people who are criminals, people who are trying to tear this country apart, look at how far they get to go.
Overcome the police. The police are now running back. The protesters that are watching.
Now, look at the stark contrast as to how this was handled with the protesters for Black Lives Matter. People with their hands up. People getting thrown down. People getting tear gassed. People being shoved around all over the place. I understand that these people here were rushed. They were, they pretty much gang rushed by this riot over here with these rioters at the Capitol. But they've been talking about it was online. I don't give a what you say. It was online. They pretty much put it out in the open. Proud Boys and all these other people said, we are going out there with weapons. We are arming ourselves, and we are out there to take on the police and to go in there and possibly, and whether they were going to go through with these threats or not, we're going to go in there and punish by death the people who we feel are tearing the elections apart and stealing the elections.
Well, less than 24 hours earlier, you had Trump and Donald Jr. and Eric Trump and Rudy Giuliani and a number of their other sycophants like actually do speeches to this same crowd and saying that we're going to be with you, that we want you to show those people on Capitol Hill. Yeah. That this is Trump's Republican Party, and we're not going anywhere, and we're not going to let you steal this election. They're like, this was what they said over and over and over again, and that's what got these people into this fury.
Well,
you instigated them. That's what they promptly did.
Well, they instigated it, but these people, they advertised. They advertised what they were going to do, and by the way, these were not empty threats because we saw what they did. We saw what they did in Michigan. You know, where they went in with the intent to kill the governor, man, and other people that they considered to be with her. They advertised what they were going to do, so we knew these weren't empty threats. Why were the fucking National Guard not there before?
Why did they come in so late?
There were no quick arrests made. Some people died, but only when they actually had to. But what happened? No big arrests were made, maybe about 10 people, but there should have been wagons of people arrested. And on top of that, Trump, and I don't know why people aren't even more disgusted about this, and this man has to go. These are people who are traitors to democracy, man. They are trying to tear the very fabric of this country apart. And it's not for any kind of patriotic reason. They just don't want to lose, and they don't want to. They would burn this fucker down before they have to give it to somebody like me. And this fool came out, and what he did, he can't even apologize. And this is out in the open, people. This is in the open. At first it was like Trump came out and he tried to settle people down. He didn't try to settle shit down. He told these people pretty much. He coddled them and said, "I'm proud of you."
I know your pain. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace.
Like the kids.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go out there and hand cookies to all of them?
You guys are so great. I just love you so much.
You might as well go out there and just and brush their hair and kiss them all on the forehead. You're special. I love you. Meanwhile, these people, they're special. He loves them. But people who, again, are out there protesting just for the right to be treated human, get on their knees and he calls them sons of bitches.
Right.
Whenever we do something, y'all, we just get together for peace. Peace. We're anywhere from communist, Marxist, unpatriotic, traitors, ungrateful. But these get to get away with it, man. That's why I'm saying I'm not taking your shit anymore. I'm not. If you are a Trump supporter, we can talk, but don't expect me to take your shit.
Yeah.
I will not. I will tell you to shut the fuck up if you don't know what you're talking about. I'll listen for a little bit, but after this scene that we have, after this day, no one has any excuses.
You have no ground to stand on.
You have nothing. After this shit right here, you have nothing. People out there, doing peaceful protest and fighting for their people. We have fought so hard to bring this country and unify it together and try to just stamp out racism. And I saw the ugliest thing of fucking with the Confederate flag in the Capitol.
Jesus. The first time in American history.
Wait on the line to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm here.
Oh, God.
God bless America.
Before this man, who he's been identified now. They're all identifying these people finally.
Really? Are they?
Yeah, they are. They're starting to. I think they've made 50 arrests today, I believe. But at the time, they didn't make any arrests, or very few. Like the last time a Confederate flag has been anywhere near federal buildings in D.C., or the Capitol building specifically, was like 6 miles out in 1864 during the Civil War.
Wow.
But now, in 2021, over 150 years later, there it is.
There it is. And you know what's sad about it is that that's in the White House, but it was surrounded by other things.
That's the Capitol building.
Yeah, I keep saying fucking White House, the Capitol building, where the legislature is, which they tore that fucking legislature up, man.
Yeah, they occupied the offices of everyone.
And
everyone
the people
across the board.
went back into the legislature, and
did it.
No matter what side they're on, Republican, Democrat, whatever, these people went back in and did their jobs. Now that is America right there.
That is, yeah.
Those are the fucking heroes, man. Under the threat of
Violence.
Of violence and death, You had not only Confederate flags, you had Pepe the Frogs out there. You had racist OK signs. I even think some people had some Nazi shit out there.
Oh yeah, no, there were Nazi flags. I mean, QAnon was there. You see that during the course, with all their conspiracy theories.
You look at that image of that man with a Confederate flag and think about all the other racist shit that's out there, and this man said, "You're special, and I love you." He told these despicable and some of them very racist people, "I love you."
But we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
People. He loves him, and he's very special. Get the fuck out of here with this. Meanwhile, Antifa, and especially those goddamn traitorous Black Lives Matter, those are the real troublemakers. And I'm sick of this country being this hypocritical, and we're split in two like this. I'm tired of people like me and people who look like me and anybody else being used as scapegoats and always being trampled under. People who get away with shit that is actually tearing this country apart. There's a movie, and this movie is scary because this movie really is a reflection of what Trump is doing. And there's a movie called, it's a German film. It's called Triumph of the Will, and it's a Nazi propaganda movie. And it's the one where you saw Hitler giving the speeches and the Nazis out there giving the salute and applauding him. So it was meant to actually do what Trump is doing right now. It was made by a woman named what's her name, Renee Riefenstahl, I think. She was Trump's pretty much propaganda filmmaker.
Right, Hitler's.
I mean, I'm sorry. What's the difference? She was Hitler's propaganda
filmmaker.
Tropicana soda.
He loved oranges. He was vegetarian.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find some things in here. I tell you what's scary. Yeah, they're gonna go dig big holes.
Yeah, I know.
You know what's scary about that is that the reason I'm showing you this is because you see Nazi soldiers marching for Hitler. Those people who were rioting and looting the Capitol, this is what he sees right here. People loyal to him.
Yeah, well, it's always about loyalty. That's what he cares most about. I mean, even goes back to your point when he was talking about people like Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin, particularly about Kim Jong-un. See, his people, they stand at attention for him. They love him. They have the picture. It's like that. That's great. Why can't we be like that? You could find that video is online of him talking about one of his many controversies. Yeah, when he was in his little love affair of Kim Jong-un for a bit.
This is people This is the scene that's in this where he's talking to a cheering crowd.
Yeah, adoring crowd.
This cheering crowd, man. This is it's, and some of you've seen this before. It is eerily reminiscent of what we see that's going on with Trump and this fanatic base that he has. A lot of times we said don't. Comparing stuff to Nazis or saying somebody's like Hitler, everybody says that.
Ends the argument.
Yeah, but not here, man. If you look at this is really starting to become what we see with these cultist Trump followers.
Von einem ruhenden Pol wahrzunehmen und nicht
I want you to look at this and listen to what he's saying. We will never give up. Mm-hmm. He says,
"You're the best of the best."
Yeah. Looking at this here, he's like,
patriots, everything. Yeah. But these specific
Das deutsche
people.
Volk ist glücklich. Pol.
People have been united by a greater power, and we will never give up. It's pretty much what he's saying. And if you look at how all these people are following, what's scary about this, and the reason why I'm making this comparison, is because this is a propaganda film. He's pretty much spreading lies. And these people who are
lapping it up,
who are large, I mean, frighteningly large, and the majority in this situation, they're doing the same thing that Trump is doing. Trump is telling people misinformation, disinformation, lies, and these people are doing the exact same thing that these people are doing with Trump today.
Sure, yeah, and they get into a fervor and they worship him.
You have people talking about they're all for America and whatnot, but they are creating what this man wants to do, be a dictator.
Sure. Oh, no. And Trump has admired strongmen, and he doesn't understand the intricacies of government or legislation or even his own branch. He always wanted, he wants to live that dictator experience. He wanted to overthrow the election. He asked Pence to do. Pence is like, no. I mean, there are so many of these things. People they just love him for that.
Yeah.
Love what he has to say, even though what he's saying is just wrong and outright lies. And that's what brought Hitler to power, was disinformation, playing on people's fears, othering other people, and that's what Trump has done.
And what's frightening about this is that we've already seen Trump turn on people. Before he was even president, he turned on groups of people.
Yeah.
He made scapegoats out of brown people. He made scapegoats out of brown people and out of brown people like Mexicans.
That was one of his first speeches.
That's one of his first speeches, and
yeah.
he got in. And you better believe that if he was to come in power just the way Hitler went in and use the Jews as a scapegoat, he'll do this with other groups of people. That is why this is so scary to me.
Even long before that, he was one of those big proponents of the birtherism with Barack Obama, saying he was an illegitimate president because he wasn't born in the United States, he was born in Kenya.
Yeah. The way he talks about Black Lives Matter, they don't matter to him. Don't you think for a moment that anybody that he sees as a radical black person, if he had his way, those people would be silenced one way or another.
Yeah.
You can look it up. These are lies. It's not that hard. I mean, I'm not even this isn't me giving you opinion. These are things you can look up on the internet, and over and over and over again, you hear the words baseless. Baseless. This has no basis in reality at all. And it has not stopped these people from just continually making shit up. You can look at this as maybe a political thing. This is something where it's just a bunch of crazy people who are selfish and don't want the way. I look at this as somebody who, as I said, when we get together peacefully, we get shit on, we get blamed, we get beat down, we get punished, we get called traitors, we get called unpatriotic. If somebody like Donald Trump becomes the level that I feel like with this, then I feel like I'm one of the first people who all my rights will suffer. And it's scary to me. And I do not want that. And that's why I'm not putting up with anybody's shit right now when I can, because my fucking life is at stake.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's even though it's only 13 days away, I just feel like what else can happen right now? My only thing, as I said before, is that his presidency will serve as an example of how bad it can get. And how it's very important to stay informed and to vote not only for the presidential election, but also for all the state elections. When it comes to senator or House representatives, or even smaller than that, it all means something, because certain people will go along with him and they will enable him, and it'll make it very easy to take away people's rights and put forth policies that could potentially hurt a lot of people. All right, so let this serve as a great example.
If you really, I'm talking to these politicians out there who are turning their backs now and say that they are against this, then make this shit, put your money where your mouth is and really make it happen if you think it's that disgusting. This man needs to have the 25th Amendment applied to him. They need to invoke that on him. Because as we were talking about before, one, there needs to be consequences. If there's no consequences for what happens here, what's to stop somebody from doing it again? If these people still get a slap on the wrist, they get different treatments, they turn their heads, they just wait for a little while for it to blow over and go back to their own shitty ways, there's never going to be anything that happens. It's going to be the same shit, and it's going to invite people to say, well, nothing happened before, why shouldn't I do this again? Yeah. If this man is given the 25th Amendment, then one, it shows that there's repercussions for it, and it doesn't need to just happen from a Democratic side. These Republicans who are saying that they don't like this, they need to get behind that too. The other thing is he won't be able to run in 2024.
Exactly. Won't be able to run for any public office.
Yeah.
No, I hope that is done, and that it'll serve as an example of someone who is trying to break the foundations and boundaries of our system or government, and that like, when you try to do that, there will be massive repercussions. Like there has to be something. Like he can't be rewarded for this. And that's my greatest fear is that, you know, after his presidency is over, he's going to try to make as much money and get as much influence as possible, you know, in the future. But if something like that is applied to his name, that will be a mark of shame forever on him, and he will be what he fears most: a loser.
But if there's no 25th Amendment invoked on him, do you think that he'll try to run in 2024 again, even with this dark cloud hanging over him?
I think he'll only do it if he knows that he can make a profit from it. Like I've said this before, what he's going to do once he leaves office, he's going to start a digital media company. He's going to do something that is far more right-wing or conservative than Fox or Breitbart or anything else in between them. Like, that's what him and his family are going to do. And he's going to try to poach a lot of talent from all these networks, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to have a propaganda service that's promoting his views and his policies and his ideas for at least 4 years. And if that grows, and if that builds the base even more, and it doesn't get any better in the next 4 years, because sadly I don't think it will. I mean, we'll see. I mean, just the temperature of the country. Then if that's really successful, and he just has a groundswell, then yeah, I do think he'll run. Whether he'll win, I don't know, but I think he will run.
All right, Jason Baer.
Hello, Jason.
January 6th. He said, "This just makes me sick. These assholes were going off months before the election."
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They advertised this shit, man. They might, you know what? These bitches might as well have passed out flyers for a concert. You know, but it says here, you know, before the election, saying that people who voted for Biden to support BLM were going to be violent and were threats if Trump won.
Yep.
Now, months later, Biden wins, and they're destroying the Capitol, and they defend their actions by saying the election was fraudulent with no evidence because there is none. They say they love America and all that bullshit, but America will keep getting worse and worse if we don't accept the differences of others and come together.
No, he's right about that. Like, you had all these political pundits and, you know, experts and just fucking talking heads. These Alex Jones types, these Tommy Lawrence types saying that if Biden wins, you know, if he loses, going to be chaos in the street. But Trump supporters, no, they'll be respectful. It's like, no.
Yeah, man. But everybody was telling you, but nobody. And even then, with people being taken out of the Capitol, there was a couple of people were still saying, "These aren't Trump supporters."
Oh yeah, Matt Gaetz, you know, congressman from Florida, he was saying that.
Matt Gaetz.
He was saying that based on facial recognition technology that is present in the Capitol, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying it seems that there might be Antifa might have influenced this thing and caused the invasion of the Capitol. It's like, oh, fuck off. Yeah. You're just lying.
Yeah.
And there's no evidence of that, by the way.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. If that, and I look, it needs to be said. You heard it over again, but hey, fuck it. Let's say it again because y'all forget right afterwards, or you choose to forget right after it's said. But if those had been black people, those have been black people that rushed those cops.
They would have been shooting them as they made their way up there.
They would have mowed those fuckers down, and everybody would have been talking about Blue Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. But when people want what they want, or they want to stick to their side, or they just want to be oblivious to something, those fucking lives didn't matter right there. Those cops didn't matter at all, did they? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but this is straight up. When somebody tells you about white privilege, this is what they're talking about. White privilege is not about having money and having, you know, the best jobs. That is a part of it, but that's not really what's a part of it. That's not really what's about. White privilege is when you get to do shit that other people can't, especially black people in this situation. You get to do shit and live your life while black people will be killed for this. Mm-hmm. You can go and live and do all the things you want to do. There's still areas where they tell black people you can't go. There are places where they say straight up, we don't want you here. There's straight up towns where they say, yeah, we're racist and we want to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. That is white privilege, people. And you can choose to deny it and not understand it if you want to. But that right there is what you see. the fact that all these people did not get a bullet in the ass, that is the epitome of white privilege right there.
It's a heaping spoonful of it.
Oh my God, it must taste so good. That's a heaping bowl full of that shit.
Yeah.
Shit,
A gallon of it.
extra milk.
Yeah. That's so sweet, man.
Yeah, man. So much for 2021, huh? As we said, a weekend.
Yeah.
One weekend. Hey, man, you remember
Hey,
just
we gave it the college try.
man, you remember just a week ago,
7
man.
days.
We were talking about, boy, man, 2021 is going to be so much better. Boy, I can feel it already.
Oh yes.
Man, 2021, that's going to be the year of enlightenment.
Yeah.
Running back.
It's gonna come together, sing kumbaya. It's gonna be wonderful.
Man, what a difference a week makes.
Yeah, really.
God damn, boy.
2022 maybe.
Oh, people.
That'll be the year.
Yeah, man, I'll be glad when 2021 is up, man. Man, it's a rough year.
It had a good run.
2022, here we come. Woo! Can't wait. Happy days are here again. Da, 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 da.